Welcome back to A Simple Life with Dumi, to my returning viewers, and welcome to my new viewers. My name is Dumi Shine Ernst and I am the owner of this channel. Okay, what happens in this channel is that I actually empower women to just stand up for themselves, amidst a world filled with a lot of opinions from social media, from the media, from family, from a lot of mediums around us that are just trying to what's the word, that are just trying to dilute who we really are, trying to make us who they want to be. So I'm just trying to bring us back to the basics so that we know what we stand for and that we just live our lives the simplest way possible. Remember that while I'm talking, to subscribe to my channel, there's like a red button down there. When you start, the white thing is written subscribe. Please just press that button to subscribe to my channel. Sorry, my bright's falling. To subscribe to my channel, please like and comment down below. I'm just hoping that our comment section become our community where we start to discuss whatever I'll be talking about in this video. You can add, you can minus, you can correct me, and you can inform me, help me understand things even better, because I don't know it all. So let's get going with today's video. Today I am talking about the real cost of having a baby, and I made this video because I've been watching my Instagram feed. I usually see a lot of baby things because obviously I'm a mother, and those are the type of things that I'm interested in. And I just realized how expensive actually people make motherhood to seem. And motherhood, it's not that expensive, guys. Motherhood, having a baby, it's not that expensive. That's why we're here, and that's why our parents are always shocked, like, okay, you're saying a baby is expensive, but what's so expensive about a baby? Simply because that's what the media has taught us, that's what social media is teaching us, and we tend to think we would love our babies better if now we splurge monies on them, which is often and mostly unnecessary. So let me just tell you about the real cost of a baby. In this video, I assume that you did not really have to go through the IVF process or surrogate, because obviously that's an extra cost on its own. But if you've gone through that, obviously now you've conceived or you have a baby on the way, what are the real costs of having a baby? First of all, if you're pregnant, the first cost will be confirming your pregnancy. I assume that you will go to Clicks or Discam or whichever shop, get yourself a pregnancy test. The pregnancy test, it's not that expensive, depending on the one that you actually buy as well. But the generic ones are not that expensive. The cost is negligible compared to all the other costs that you're actually gonna incur during your pregnancy and even after giving birth to a baby. So you confirm your pregnancy and then you're gonna go to the clinic. So if you go to a government clinic, confirming your pregnancy, getting vitamins after your pregnancy is confirmed, like every month going for vitamins and getting weight, and the nurses checking your weight and the baby's weight, all of that is free of charge. So there is no cost to it. And then there's another side, which is the private route, which is another route where middle class and like rich people go through. It's where now you actually go to a gynecologist and they scan you and they prescribe supplements, vitamins for you, all of that. The consultation is charged plus 1,000 rands and above. You know what, that's up to 1,000 rands and above. Then you have to buy supplements. You can buy your Pregnavite or your Omega 3 Plus. Those are like already above 200 rands. you know. And then your scans, depending on how your gynecologist decides to charge you, but scans are also very expensive. I was actually shocked to see that scans are like around 600-700 rands. So that's scans. And what else am I forgetting? You've got your hospital booking fee, and then you also have baby delivery charges, which is your hospital and paying your gynecologist or your midwife to deliver your baby. The best part is that if you have a medical aid covers almost all those costs, from your gynecologist to your scans to your vitamins, everything that you encounter during your pregnancy, obviously depending on your option and stuff, but usually medical aid covers all of that. But it's not free because it comes from your salary every month. So those are the costs of being pregnant, basically. And then now you're pregnant and then you give birth. So what are the costs after birth? So basically, I think I'm gonna dwell here for a while because I think this is where new mummies especially get confused. I know that when I have my second baby, I won't struggle with a lot of these things because I have the experience and I know the things that were necessary and the things that were very unnecessary. So I'm gonna stick to the things that are necessary to spend on, which is your needs, things that you can't really go without when you're having a baby. And then other things that I'm gonna mention are luxuries, which honestly you can really go without. So the first thing that you're gonna encounter, the first cost that you're gonna encounter when you give birth is your vaccinations for your baby. If you're in government, all your vaccinations are free. There's like a list of vaccinations, and those places, like if you give birth in private or you go to this camp for your vaccinations or clicks, they've got a list of vaccinations which are not exactly the same as your government vaccinations. The reason for this, I don't know. Maybe I think it's because, well, maybe they're trying to make money or whatever. But now if you go for those extra vaccinations, usually your medical aid doesn't even want to cover for those because it's like, okay, but why are you having this one? If your medical aid covers for it, then you are lucky. But the government vaccinations, I believe they are sufficient, they are free. But personally, I didn't go the government route. I used Stock Nest, which is Netcare, and I only used Discam ones. The reviews, I preferred Stock Nest because the nurse was just too awesome, too attentive to detail, and their advice was just proper, you know, like it was, they give you time, they take you through the whole process. Whereas at the other side, I just did not really like it that much, you know. But that's my personal reviews, and this is my channel. I believe that I can say this on my channel. Besides, none of them are paying me for this opinion. But if you don't have medical aid that covers for vaccinations, I advise you that just go to a government clinic and get your vaccinations. They are the same. Your baby will still be protected the same way. So, and then clothes. When coming to baby clothes, I think here it depends firstly on your taste and on your preference. But I think one thing that overrides that are those two considerations about babies. First of all, baby clothes get small very quick. So if you're gonna splurge a lot on baby clothes, especially newborn and 0 to 3 months clothes, you'll find yourself again in the shop like in 3 months time buying the same clothes. So you just need to be very careful there, like how much you spend there, you know. And then secondly, baby clothes, because you don't buy a wardrobe full of 0 to 3 months clothes or 6 to 12 months clothes, we tend to wash baby clothes a lot, you know. So you also need good quality when you're buying baby clothes, just to make sure that your baby's clothes last longer and they don't tear a lot or lose color or become thin, you know, quicker. So I think you must just be careful of that. My personal advice is that look for quality and look for good value for money. I've got shops that I really prefer when coming to baby clothes. Should I mention them? I think I will, just for the purpose of this video. I personally love Woolworths because the quality is really good, and I think the price on average is very good, you know, especially for small baby clothes. And they've got like specials for like, okay, buy 3 onesies for like 300 rands or something like that. Also, Ackermans, their quality is quite good, especially on winter clothes. I think they beat Woolworths when coming to winter clothes. They've got good winter clothes, and when you compare the quality, like the clothes quality between Ackermans and Woolworths, Ackermans always wins. So I'm very biased towards those two shops, but also other shops that you can look at depending on your pocket is Cotton On Kids. You can also have a look at Pick n Pay clothing. I love Pick n Pay clothing, especially their bibs. I think they've got the best bibs ever. Oh my goodness, I got such beautiful bibs from Pick n Pay clothing. You can also consider Jared and Edgar's. Edgar's is very underrated, but their quality is proper. If you know Cotton On clothes for babies, you get the same, around the same from Edgar's, so you can consider those. So I'm not gonna tell you where you must buy from, but just remember that comfort is very important also for your babies. Just don't go buy like your babies a lot of jeans and stuff. Your baby will be sleeping and playing most of the time. So onesies and yeah, crawlers basically are the most important thing for a baby. You can get them like a few t-shirts and pants, you know, for when they're going out, but crawlers, I think they're a go-to thing. Crawlers and vests and socks, those are a must, those are needs, and then maybe like 2 or 3 outfits for going out. So the second important need for a baby is nappies. I know that my mother is always complaining about the price of nappies. She's like, but guys, why do you pay so much for nappies? And you know what, now I'm never going the cloth nappies route. I know there's like new technologies these days. You know what, I'm dizzy. I'm gonna use disposable nappies because you know what, that's what works for me. I'm still using them even today, and you know what, the best thing about them is that they go according to levels. Newborn, you've got like an indicator that shows you when your baby has peed, because you're still new in this thing, you haven't really figured it out. Then later on you just get like a normal nappy, and then later on you get like, you know, the pants where you just, it's more like an underwear for your baby, especially for potty training, because I'm at that stage at the moment. But nappies, they also have levels. So you've got Pampers Premium and Pampers Pure range. That one is very, very expensive. I think you can go for that if you really don't mind spending on nappies, but the alternative for that is Huggies Gold. Huggies Gold is the same price as normal Pampers, and I think they give you the same value. The Huggies underneath the Huggies Gold though, it's a bit it gets very wet easily. Your baby feels wet, so I don't prefer it. So it's either Huggies Gold or normal Pampers. And then if you now want like even a cheaper option, you can go for your normal store brand, like stores. I know Clicks and Discam, they've got like their own store brands, so you can consider those. I have never tried those, I don't know how they work, but I know that not all babies react the same to the same nappy. Like I know my son, when he was just born, he didn't really like a particular brand. I won't mention it because I hope that one day, you know, those brands, they come and they sponsor my babies or something like that. But there's a brand that my son's skin didn't like, and I had to now switch to another brand. And that's something to consider also when you're buying nappies. You just don't want to buy a cheap nappy that's gonna give you baby rash, you know, or an expensive nappy that's gonna give you baby rash. But I think when coming to nappies, don't splurge, rather go on the average ones, you know, because I mean they still get the job done, and you throw them out at the end of the day, so like, why not? And then another cost that you're gonna incur for babies is toiletries. Toiletries also, they depend on your skin type. I know that in my household we've had to like spend a bit more on our baby when coming to toiletries because he's got eczema. I actually don't know if it's eczema or what, but yeah, I'm sure you get what I'm talking about. So he had to use like a specific cream that we get from the doctor. So obviously medical aid covers that, but obviously that's an extra cost if you're not on medical aid. And on top of that, he could only use like a specific product to wash his face and to wash his body. So it's only now that his skin is trying to welcome like things like petroleum jelly and stuff. But before that, his skin was very sensitive and couldn't take anything. But if your baby doesn't have any skin problems, I would recommend that, you know what, the same cream that you use to bath your baby, that you used to put on your baby, is the same cream you can use to bath your baby. So you don't need products like baby soap, shampoo and stuff. Maybe for girls, because I don't really have a girl, I don't know, but I don't think you need all those things. You just need baby lotion, and that's it. You know, you can use it even for your baby balm, but I know that for me the lotion didn't work for the balm. I still needed balm cream. So balm cream in my life is a need, but it also depends on your baby's skin. So that's a very big disclaimer. And then when coming to baby food, first of all, your baby needs milk. We know all babies need milk. Breast milk, you know, I'm an advocate for breast milk. Breast milk is free of charge. You don't pay anyone anything. You just give your baby the boob and your baby is full. But if now you're going to use the formula route, that's like an extra, I think, prepare around 300-400 rands per month, you know, for your baby's milk. That's how much you will pay for your baby's milk. That's the formula route. And then you've got now to give your baby your starches and your veggies. For your veggies and fruits, I personally made the purees at home. If you want a video of how I made the purees, please comment down below. I will provide it, or I'll put that on my blog. And I made purees and my baby was happy to have purees. Yogurt, I have a very specific yogurt that I really loved, you know, from Woolworths. It's a mixture of purees and yogurt. That was good. If you don't have that, just buy your baby normal yogurt, or you can mix your purees with normal plain yogurt. But obviously when coming to food, try to stay away from sugar as much as possible. Trust me, once they taste sugar, there is no going back. You are hooked. It's like a drug. Yo, like ever since my son tasted sugar, like, oh my gosh, we are in trouble, you know. And then you do purees even for your veggies, you know, until such an age that they can start now nibbling and being able to chew. But they take a while. I know that social media and the internet will tell you that no, start giving them nibbles at this and this age. Guys, that's just it. I don't know, maybe it works for other kids, but for me it didn't really work. I had to do purees for such a long time because he was not doing this nibbling thing. He was not taking it so well, you know, and he would actually starve, you know. So rather give him what keeps him going until he is ready, you know, to experience the next stage of food. And cereals, you can give your baby things such as oats, porridge, Cerelac, Nestum, you know, such things, depending on what you prefer, obviously, for your baby. And those things, I mean, oats is not that expensive, and porridge is just a maize meal. Porridge with peanut butter, porridge with whatever's, like, mix and match, you know, your porridge and make it nice for your baby. You don't have to spend a lot on baby food, trust me. And I know that's where a bulk of baby money, monthly money, goes to food. You don't have to, trust me. I can't reveal how much I spend on my baby per month, but it's gonna shock you, because we just came up with ways to cope around feeding our healthy baby. And then obviously you're gonna need things like towels, you know, for bathing your baby and stuff. Towels, what I like about towels is that you can buy ordinary towels. I know that you've got those towels with a cap, you know, that covers your baby's head. Those are a luxury, they are not a need, you know. So if you prefer those, go for them. But if you are a mommy who wants to save as much as possible on your baby, just buy them ordinary towels and use them on your baby. And then there's something called a stroller or a pram. I think this is where people splurge. Can we just talk about strollers for a moment? First of all, how many times does your baby go out a day in a week? You know, like, how many times? So if you're a mommy maybe who's going to church every Sunday, and yeah, maybe like you need a proper stroller and stuff, because I know, like, Nina, that's when I used it the most. But after that, I know that when I go to the mall, you go to the mall with the baby in the stroller. When you come out of the mall, you're pushing the stroller alone on its own, and you're carrying the baby on its own. So my solution became that, you know what, I put my baby on my back. I wear my baby, especially when I go to the mall, because that's the only solution. Otherwise, you won't enjoy your shopping. Your baby's gonna cry and stuff. And yes, your baby will accept the stroller when you're going in. That's where you see mothers being nice and calm, pushing. But when they're coming out, no. The things have changed now. So I would say that, you know, that's the truth about strollers. Given that fact, you decide how much you want to spend on your stroller. Yeah, unless it's valid, you just want a nice stroller for pictures, for Instagram, which is another case. And I've got a friend who said, hi Mina, I just want one for Instagram, and she got it, and it's beautiful, you know. But if the aim is just to get a stroller to transport your baby, think about what I've just said. Your baby doesn't really last in a stroller unless if they want to sleep, you know. And I think another way just to transport your baby, the best way, put him on the back. You will be able to carry plastics, push trolleys, check things in the shops, greet people. You know what, that's just the best thing ever. Consider that. And then obviously you need baby blankets and bottles. Oh, and for me, when coming to bottles, guys, when I got my baby, I splurged on bottles, and my son did not accept any of the bottles. I bought Nuke, I bought Avent, I bought, oh, I think I bought all the brands, you know. I think it's 4 main brands. I bought them because I kept trying, and those things are expensive. On average, a bottle is like 100 and something rands, and it didn't work. Only when I went and I bought my baby a bottle from a shop. I won't mention the shop's name, but the bottle was like cheaper. I think it was like 50 rands. That's when my baby started accepting the bottle. And then I went and I bought nipples, you know, from the same shop for the other bottles. And that's when my baby started accepting bottles. And for the baby's bedroom, I know that you get like sets that come with a cot, a chest of drawers, changing station and stuff. Please do your research before you go for those costs, because I think I really think I saved money by buying a cot separately, and I bought a chest of drawers separately from two different shops. And I keep looking, and I see that I saved like around 3K minimum, you know. So it's just up to you as an individual what you want to spend on. And the last option, the last item that I'm gonna talk about is, you know, that donut pillow. There's this nice donut pillow that we usually use for our babies. I will link I will link it down below, and I'll also try to add a picture somewhere in my editing. My editor is not that advanced, so I can't like add pictures on the sides, but that donut is a lifesaver. So I used that donut when my baby was new for, what's this thing, tummy time. I used that donut when I just put him and I want to do things in the kitchen or in the bathroom. I used that donut pillow to help him sit, you know, to teach him how to sit. So the donut pillow is a lifesaver. If you can get it, it's like 300 rands, around the average price. Do get it for your baby, you won't regret it. So that's basically the costs around babies. All other things are add-ons, and obviously I didn't mention things like nose, is it aspirator, the thing that you use to take the snorties out of the baby's nose. I think that's also a very good investment, and that goes for like 120 something rands, I think, when I was buying. I know prices because I didn't have a baby shower, so I had to buy everything from my own pocket. A breast pump, you don't really need an expensive one. I got a manual one for cheap around 300 rands, and I still think it's okay. Now I can't use it because my son is grown, he doesn't really breastfeed anymore, but also because he played with it, and one piece is there, one piece is there, but otherwise it was a good breast pump. So I'm just gonna tell you that how much you spend on your baby is up to you. How expensive your baby is up to you. Babies are not expensive, you decide how expensive your baby is. But obviously things like nappies and yeah, basically I think nappies and formula, those are like standard costs that you will have to incur, especially if you're not breastfeeding. But if you can breastfeed, you'll also be saving some costs, you know, monthly, and maybe taking it on a luxury that you can use on your baby. But remember, your baby won't remember all the luxuries that you used on them except for on pictures. So maybe that's worth it for you. With all that said, thank you so much for watching this video. I think this is such a long video, oh my goodness. I don't know how I'm gonna like trim it up, but I have to. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate your time. Mwah, 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 mwah. Bye bye.